Why do narcissists drive fast? I don't know if that's a characteristic of narcissism. A lot of people drive fast, okay? You can't just say, yes, they cheat so fast. Yes, I can say that because I'm a narcissist. I did that, and I've seen that in multiple relationships. So yes, they do cheat. All narcissists cheat. They cheat emotionally, they cheat mentally, they cheat digitally, they cheat like in all different aspects. They cheat you out of your dreams, they cheat out of your hope, they cheat you out of like the life you are going to live, all of different types of things. Okay, yes, narcissists do cheat, period. If you don't like it, don't follow. But I'm not going to move on that. When did you start becoming a narcissist? Was it childhood, adolescence, adulthood? So you don't become an adult, it would be childhood. Typically it's based on some version of trauma, okay? Like it's not like one exact piece, but yes, some version of trauma that's there. Mentally, emotional neglect, overbearing parents, over-controlling parents, different aspect, different relationships, and dealing with guilt and shame moving forward. Not the fact that he played emotions and used her for money. I missed the first part of that. My ex said that he loved her kids, but then said F them. Yes, because words don't actually match up to what's actually there. Is there a cure for narcissism? There's not a pill or pixie dust that we can sprinkle. If anything, it's avoidance of the truth. If we could get someone to actually be truthful and see the reality for what's actually there, survivors would get healed and narcissism wouldn't continue going down that route. But people are like, no, it can't be fixed. Well, that's because the inability of someone to actually be honest with themselves. This is why you have people that don't find their healing. This is why you find narcissists that don't change. Okay, is it sex without emotion? A lot of times. Think of it like this way: there's not as much depth. Like a narcissist is like looking for a high. You're a high in that moment. Just told mine I'm leaving, went from drunk porn addict to no alcohol, doing everything I asked, 10 years overnight. Patty, that's just manipulation. You still need to leave. Like, that's the best way to be able to put it. The fact that he changed everything instantly means he only changed it because you're leaving, and also he only changed it and he knew what to change because of all the previous years that he kept it from you. So at that point, he already knew, and it shows you more malicious intent the entire time that he kept it from you the whole way. Do you think narcissists are demonic? No, I don't think that at all. Why am I the only person he has never burned bridges with? I would say that's your perspective. You don't really know that 100% unless you've talked to every single one of their ex and be like, hey, is the bridge still burned? That's a possibility, but a big piece of it is narcissists will always try to keep the door open with at least somebody. That way they can come back. That way they can have supply. Avoid the narcissist and don't think you'll be exempt by knowing he's a narcissist. Run. Yep. The majority of them have addictions. A lot of them do have addictive personalities. Why are narcissists so paranoid and talk to themselves? I don't think I really talk to myself unless you count this, but I'm actually talking to you guys. A lot of narcissists, I don't know if narcissists all talk to themselves. I don't talk to myself in my head maybe, but not out loud. Why can't I understand so clearly the psychology behind everything with me having ADHD and trauma bond is worse? How do you get over the trauma bond? So what we walk people through is inside the clarity challenge. We teach the formula to actually break free of the trauma bond. Ultimately, it comes down to the triggers that are controlling the story that you believe. When we help you rewire that, like, and replace what's actually there, like a false sense of reality, a fantasy of what's happening, the hope or potential, people are able to get broken out. We haven't had someone to go through to do everything inside the clarity challenge and not be broken free. Ryan, that's at claritychallenge.net. Did they see the same playbook with the next person, watching her do the exact same thing to others? Oftentimes, if it works, don't worry about fixing it. So a lot of times you'll see a narcissist will keep doing the same thing over and over to other people. Trauma bonds are absolutely worse if you have ADHD. Amy, 100%. That's why we actually like script it out step by step by step by step. It really helps with ADHD of saying, okay, one thing I got to focus on today. One thing I got to focus on today. How do you help your kid understand the words and the actions don't match? Just be honest with them. You don't have to bash the other person, but if you're with a shitty person, like you just say, hey, this is the shit that they're doing, okay? Correlation between narcissism and pornography. Narcissists are entitled and they view a lot of people as objects, so pornography is an easy fix for that. He was addicted to video games and laughed and talked loud, so he knew I was having more fun without me. Why is their ego so fragile and need attention all the time? That part of that goes back to the shame avoidance piece. Like, I need to avoid what's actually underneath, but not actually admit who's actually there. Narcissists had more than one addiction. Yeah, 100%. If they don't have feelings, why does their tears and conversations about feelings feel so real? A lot of times you see fake vulnerability. Sometimes you'll see little like small like breaks in like what's actually going there. But at the end of the day, until they're willing to be honest and work on it and be able to change it, nothing actually happens. What if they have NPD and also bipolar? Sounds pretty shitty. But at the end of the day, like, they need to be able to understand if they're not being honest, vulnerable, and showing consistent change, like, you need to get out. Have you been diagnosed by a therapist? Yes, thank you very much. No contact help. Block, ghost, no contact. Now, at the end of the day, no contact is not going to save you. It's not going to fix you and is not going to make you free, okay? Until you break the trauma bond, the thing that's actually going on inside, you will still go back. You will still stay stuck even if you're no contact. Even if you blocked, ghosted, gone no contact, it's not guaranteed to get you fixed because you still have a healing journey that needs to happen in your mindset. That's what we actually focus on. My ex told his family he was done with me and told lies about me. They moved in with a girl he worked with, but then lied to his family it was somebody else and said, I lied. Is he done with me? He's done with you when you're done with him. Like, at the end of the day, you have to block, ghost, go no contact. Otherwise, he'll keep coming back. Okay? I'm never going to say he's done with you because the majority of the time they never are. Happy World, thank you so much. When I first met new girlfriend, she told me to run. Turns out she's a narcissist. Is she telling herself? Sometimes we have that. I've seen that multiple times. That's my struggle for the past 4 years, trauma bond. Courtney, if you're not breaking it after 4 years, please reach out for help. Like, that's what we focus on, what we work through on every single day with the people we have. Whether you roll with us in our Thriver community, where you're working with me one-on-one and a bunch of people that are like majorly like shooting to the moon with a lot of their goals and projections and getting free of the trauma bond, or whether you're jumping into the clarity challenge and it's like done for you, you're doing it like on your own. Either way, but Courtney, reach out. Would love to be able to help you. Why they project hypocritical role reversal to avoid shame? Can they convince themselves? Yeah, they convince themselves that they're not the bad person. They like gaslight themselves. Narcissists are exhausting. Tell me about it. I am one. It's exhausting on this side. All just aside, yes, 100% it is exhausting because the abuse is ruthless because it keeps coming after you. Does the clarity challenge help you break free of piecing the puzzle together of the gaslighting? Yes, 100%. If you're wondering if you're one, you're not one, please don't use that answer. Like, I'm not trying to call you out, but like, please don't use that answer because it's a bunch of bullshit. And now we see a bunch of narcissists leveraging that question to continue to abuse. Okay. If you think you're a narcissist, start looking, start figuring out what's going on in your life and start working on changing it. That's it. Okay. But we have to stop the perpetuation of like, well, if you ask about it, then you're not a narcissist. I've talked to many different people that their narcissist has asked it to the therapist so they could get out of like, well, you asked, so you're definitely not. Thank God my therapist didn't tell me that. But she's like, let's talk about it. Let's work through it. Okay. Same thing with Lee Hammock. Okay. He talks about it too. When he asked his therapist, she didn't say, well, if you're asking, then you're not one. Otherwise, we both wouldn't be here. Okay. So let's stop perpetuating that answer. Okay. Love you, not trying to come at you, but please don't keep perpetuating that answer, okay? Does not help right now. Have you ever dated another narcissist? Dated a girl with BPD and narcissistic traits. It was great, and then it was awful. All right, that's pretty much all I got because we're running out of time. If you want to reach out with me, you can go to www.rawmotivations.com. Would love to be able to help you there. Would love to be able to help you move forward in your healing and your growth. If you're like, hey, I just need to be able to start someplace, go to escapetoxicity.com, click on the link in the bio. Love to be able to help you. If you have any other questions, shoot me a message, okay? Be willing to help chat with you guys. However, we can help guide you into some of the things that we're doing day to day. But if you're struggling with the trauma bond, rumination, triggers, like toxic, like all the toxicity stuff that you're struggling with and you can't break free, reach out because we're breaking people free every single day.